Evictions. Section 8 tenants are being thrown out. With the recent cuts in Section 8, you would think that tenants would listen and realize that the government help is coming to an end. They are receiving the notices and ignoring them. These new laws are catching people by surprise. They don't believe that these Section 8 cuts are actually real. It's gotten so bad that some of these Section 8 tenants have been kicked out while they were making dinner.
Unit 615. We are here with the constable and whoever's in here.
Let's just say that her monthly rent in the apartment is $1,300 a month. And her Section 8 voucher, she only covers $207, remember, of that rent.
On today's episode of I Have Tenants from Hell, I want to talk about a different tenant that is actually still with us.
This Section 8 tenant got evicted with his girlfriend, but came back after the property manager had left, thinking no one was gonna notice.
Unit 615. We are here with the constable and whoever's in here. They ran out of the back door. We know they were in here. The apartment is warm and they were cooking, so everything is hot on the stove. And the back door has been kicked in. Constable popped that up until the maintenance guy came to secure it. He's waiting on the car.
How do you get evicted twice in the same day? He got so comfy, he even started cooking Sunday dinner thinking no one was gonna check up on him. How can you feel bad when they're missing their rent and continue to ignore these notices from the homeowner? These Section 8 evictions are something else. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. This property manager breaks down why the judge ordered this Section 8 tenant to leave the property, and it was over a dog.
We can even go a little bit deeper. Let's just say that her monthly rent in the apartment is $1,300 a month. And her Section 8 voucher, she only covers $207, remember, of that rent. Every time she's accumulating late fees, because remember, she thinks she's paying the rent on time, but she's not. She's paying that back balance, and it's making her late on the rent. She's getting a late fee. If she's on a new lease, she's getting charged 10% of the rent. 10% of $1,300 is $130. So every month she's late, she's getting charged a 10% late fee. Plus she still owes the difference of the rent because it ain't even enough to make a dent in the balance. Y'all make it make sense. So long story short, she can't afford it. She can't afford to pay all of the fees that she's been charged, plus the back rent. She just simply cannot afford it. And you know what else she cannot afford with rent that's $207? A damn dog. She cannot afford to have a dog in an apartment. Pay the pet deposit. Pay pet rent. She cannot afford it. The apartment community, they did their part by giving her those pet violations, giving her the fines. Once the rent was late, they gave her notices to vacate. They made her very aware month after month after month of this balance that was accumulating since October, November. Now, we could easily look at this as a setup. And if you think about it, kind of, sort of, the apartment community already knew she couldn't afford those fines. Simply, they could have just didn't want her in the apartment community anymore. Could have. And at the end of the day, it's not their fault. It's her fault. Because she already knew that she wasn't supposed to have a dog in the apartment. She already knew she couldn't afford the dog. So all I'm saying is that if you have a Section 8 voucher, then people gonna make you follow their rules. Or they gonna make it to where you go do what you wanna do somewhere else. So after it was all said and done, the judge said, verdict for the plaintiff. You got 5 days to get out of the apartment by this day. And if you're not out on this day, the plaintiff has the ability to be able to file a writ, meaning writ, the constable gonna come and put your stuff out of the apartment. You and your stuff on the curve. Y'all, this lady done probably had this voucher for over 20 years. So now she done lost her voucher for a dumb having a dog. I see it all the time.
This woman had a Section 8 voucher for 20 years and let it slip away because she wanted to have a pet, even though she knew it wasn't allowed. Why do people continue to make such silly mistakes? All she was paying was $207 a month instead of $1,300. So many people would love to be in that position, and the crazy part is she couldn't even afford the dog in the first place, yet she still got it. I can see why this new 2-year Section 8 rule was put into place, because people just become complacent. She threw away such a good opportunity. New York is one of the worst states to be a landlord. This homeowner practically had to become a social worker to evict her tenant who was destroying her property. Yes, that is insane.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I have a house in the Bronx, and I'm a landlord. So, on today's episode of I Have Tenants from Hell, I want to talk about a different tenant that is actually still with us, and I think I am just ready to be done with this house. We've had a tenant who stopped paying us rent after, I want to say, like 9 months of us owning the house, and she did not pay for another 9 months. She really she was renting part of the apartment, and she just could not pay her share anymore. And because she had actually a newborn baby and a child with special needs, we knew that it was going to be really hard to get her evicted because, again, New York laws, they are very tenant friendly. They are not for landlords. And so what we had to do is we had to help her get her financial assistance through City FAPS. And when I tell you that I really just wish that, she would have just left, because the amount of damage that she has caused us is insane. She has a child with special needs, and she just does not work. She relies on her husband, who lives in a different country, to give her money enough for the rent. And she right now is only paying like $100, and the city is only paying us like $800. So it is really like crumbs at this point. And she has broken not one, but 2 new stoves. She has like clogged so many things. And most recently, or like not even recently, but what has been continuing to happen is that she lets her son play and run the water nonstop, because he's on the spectrum, he has autism, and he needs to, like, him playing with water, like, it's his way of coping. Like, it's just like touching things, but like splashing water everywhere. So we've had so many floods, or like so many leaks in the basement because of her son just throwing water all over the floor, and she does not pay attention.
The Section 8 tenant only has to pay $100 a month, yet she's missing rent for multiple months, destroying property, flooding the basement, and still can't get evicted because these laws are just criminal. Do you know how crazy it is that the landlord literally has to hold her hand and sign her up for these government assistance programs to get her out of her property? That's what a government caseworker should be doing, not the homeowner. Another Section 8 eviction and another Section 8 tenant completely destroying the property. I will never understand how people can live like this. And for the little rent they're paying, how can he trash this place? And you know what's crazy? Is that this homeowner does yearly inspections, yet this home still got completely destroyed. I think once the Section 8 tenants realized that they weren't gonna keep paying, they said might as well just trash the place. To think that people actually lived in this filth. Click on the video on your screen right now to see how Walmart is trapping thieves at the self-checkout line.